And welcome to the 28th installment of the Jonesin on the Whim podcast. A week late, I guess. But nonetheless.
Yeah, you had your decorating to do.
Yeah, let's call it that.
Oh, yeah.
Trees don't decorating
Decorating and commiserating.
My tears on
Pontificating.
the ground.
I sound like Al Sharpton.
Yeah, 28.
No perm.
I'd love to say Mark Ingram, can't do it. Maybe Curtis Martin works for me for 28. If we had to pick a number.
Yeah. Kurt Warner, was he 28? Seattle running back?
Okay,
I'm going way back now.
With a C.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, back when they had,
Right.
Back when people named Kurt had it started.
Right. Was he? I don't know.
Yeah.
But, okay. That concludes our number.
Numerology for the week.
It's assessment to the number in connection to the number of podcasts.
Excellent.
Just wish we had 28 listeners, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
I think we got about half that.
Yeah, I don't know. 51-second segment. We usually do injuries. I don't think there's any notable injuries this week. Maybe some players returning, possibly. Big Ben's supposed to return. Ray Lewis in 2 weeks, possibly. Percy, possibly.
He ain't coming back, man.
Missing weeks.
Don't breathe on.
No more person.
Gronk in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I hope so.
They won't need him this week, but we'll get to that later.
Always hate.
I know
Living
which
the
way
hate.
you're going. Yeah.
So instead of injuries for 51 seconds, one of our members had the privilege of making a trip to, thanks buddy, to Denver.
That's right.
To Mile High. You have to explain how you got these tickets, how the experience was. Old man looked younger in person. What you got?
He did look pretty young. Yeah, I came up with the idea for the trip.
It did include us, by the way.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, long weekend. Just
married and stuff.
Just basically to go to see the old man play in person, because I said I hadn't done that in my life before. Turns out on further reflection I was wrong. I was at Reliant Stadium for the Sage Rosenfels helicopter game.
Oh.
So I had seen Peyton play in person before, just tried to block that one out of the memory. But anyway.
Right. No, I love that one.
Yeah,
I laughed my ass off.
Got a ticket on StubHub and flew out there, stayed in a hotel. Pretty impressed by the downtown area in Denver. A lot of places to get drunk.
Clean. It's pretty safe from what I understand.
Yeah, it's like family oriented. There's the 16th Street Mall kind of cuts through downtown.
Yeah.
A lot of shops and restaurants and bars, and then you got some other areas that are more bar heavy. So therefore,
and it's a bit of a college scene.
It kind of is,
which I don't understand because the closest school is
CU, Colorado.
Well, that's not Boulder, but
Boulder, yeah,
that's not as close as
not super close,
right?
No, but I guess a lot of kids make the trip. I'm not sure what there is to do in Boulder.
Right, fair enough. Well, the bang hot chicks that go to Colorado, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I think there's a plethora.
Yeah, I mean there were some swanky areas, shopping and nice restaurants and the associated hot chicks too. So fair amount to look at there, and that was a good time. Even though it wasn't the first time I'd seen the old man, and my ticket was like a mile and a half high.
But it's the newer stadium.
It's a new stadium. Yeah, it used to be called like Invesco, and then they changed it to
something at Mile
Sports
High.
Authority Stadium now at Mile High. Yeah, so
because I've been out there.
Really confusing.
Right, I've been out there, but not for a sporting event.
They push the Coors Light, but
of course.
Other than that,
So was it like Blue Moon on tap at the stadium, or that's a Coors product?
Choices. Yeah, they did have some Blue Moon out there. That was a pretty popular fixture in the bars too.
Right.
But, there was one jerk off fan near me, a Bronco
Just one?
fan.
Well, did he have a Tebow jersey on?
No, it was Manning jersey. Manning jerseys definitely dominated the,
I'm sure.
the stands there.
He is third in sales.
Yeah.
RG3 is one.
Yeah. Second, I'd say was Champ Bailey, probably because he's been
That's
there
fair.
so long.
Yeah.
Enough people got his jersey. But this guy, he was mouthing with a Tampa Bay fan a few rows in front who was being kind of effusive. He was
Mexican.
He was being kind of annoying. Yes, he was.
Just throw a dart. It might hit. I don't know. I'm kidding. I don't.
But
Bar doesn't listen, right?
The guy basically shouted him down within a quarter, and the Tampa Bay guy gave up. He stopped being effusive and all that. But the Bronco fan kept at him, just needling, and eventually he got reported to security. Like they came up and talked to him. And,
Did he have a Tebow? So he had a Champ Bailey jersey.
Manning jersey.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I could hear the security guy saying, they say win with class, lose with class. There's like this old guy giving him
Yeah,
the
this
talking
really,
to.
really white dude from
Yeah.
Denver.
But he was douchey enough that the Broncos fans were getting annoyed with him. So that tells you something.
Yeah, and every fan base has that guy. It's just,
Clearly, or 75.
it's just
guy.
Texans and
His girlfriend left with
Giants,
like 5 minutes
Jets have a majority of these people.
left. Yeah.
But
But it was a good time overall.
that's good.
Glad I went. Good weather too. It was like 60 degrees and sunny.
Yeah, which is what it's supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And not supposed to be there, I guess.
Right.
Probably
Yeah.
supposed to be a little
That's
cooler.
pretty warm for
Yeah.
Denver this time
Yeah.
of year. But-
Because now it's 80 degrees and muggy.
And it's
Yeah.
December
Yeah, again.
3rd. Like, our friends planning pool parties for this weekend.
Oh.
It's going to be in the 80s. And the Texans play Monday night. That's insane. But, hey, you know, you love that kind of thing. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather 60 degrees and comfortable. But it's not uncomfortable.
Yep.
So, I guess that concludes the 51-second segment. I wish we had more stories like that each week. But, you know, my stories to New Orleans will just be redundant. And things I can't share. So, but on to entertainment news,
DVD extras.
which under this format, the All NFL all the time, which is coming to not an end, but is our Week 13 big performances. And I'll let y'all go first. 'Cause I need to.
I gotta put it up with luck. It's another time to. We're running out of stuff to say that we don't say enough about this kid because he's just awesome. And these comebacks and these magical drives, and obviously I have my thoughts about the Detroit Lions organization from their coaching staff on down to players on the team. But man, you're down by a score and a half, and you put together 2 drives, 3 minutes to go. Man, you got to have your stuff together, man. And you got to have players. You got to have folks that believe. And you got to have a quarterback that's willing to make the tough throws, standing there and get hit, buy some time, get some stuff going. Because everybody knows what you're about to do in general. And you still got to be able to get those scores. He ended up with 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, of course. Because like we said, he's like even Stevens on interceptions and touchdowns. But 390 yards, that's a huge performance. And 8-4. Don't look now. I mean, we could talk about it later and how that can end up working out really great for your favorite group of fans, Harold. But big game. That's what I'm rolling with.
Yeah, the only thing, I mean, I didn't see the game because obviously I was getting into Mile High Stadium at the time, but obviously great comeback. But his completion percentage was pretty poor. It was like 24 or 54. I know he had the 3 picks, but
Get your big rust ass.
I don't know. That was my only negative there on luck. I mean, obviously he brought him back, but
No, he still makes those rookie mistakes, but
Yeah.
I really liked Romo last night. I thought Philly, the way those first 2 touchdowns were scored by
David Wilson.
Bryce Brown, where he was just untouched from like 10 yards out both times. I'm like,
Right.
oh, Philly's gonna run away with this one, but
right. No, it did look that way.
yeah, Romo brought him back and really good in the second half too. I think he's like 10 for 10 with 3 touchdowns.
He is who I think he is.
Yeah,
You give him any kind of protection, especially a defensive. And that's
he'd
what.
still run for his
So
life
what
an awful
happens
lot.
when you don't sack Romo in a game? You get fired. Defensive line coach fired this morning by the Eagles.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
The Eagles, man, they're gonna have to run off everybody before it's over. They're trying to get rid of bad seed
Well,
players.
just and he's like, y'all go on vacation. I'll weather this storm. I'm out at the end anyway.
Like, I'm gonna
Y'all
eat
just
anyway.
let me just. This is my disaster, and it's not fair. But that's the kind of gentleman he is. The big fella. It'll be in San Diego if he wants to. There's going to be 8-9 openings next year. He can pick his job.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a good one out there that's really gonna be available. For
Whatever Sean doesn't want, he can have.
Maybe Arizona, which has also lost 8 games in a row.
also known as not a good job still.
Well, he can bring a quarterback, and at least he sees something in Cobb. I guess he traded him, but maybe he can work with him. I don't know, but
He's gonna go out there and block for him, I guess.
I think Wisenhunt's a good coach. I don't know where the disconnect is
They
with
just
the
got
quarterback.
they just got caught slipping with no offensive line.
That defense is Super Bowl ready, not playoff ready.
Yeah,
Super
but
Bowl ready.
When you got an offensive line that's barely JUCO ready, then
Right.
it's
And
hard
they-
to look good.
And they drafted some guys, and they've gotten injured.
You're talking 3 of the top 10 quarterbacks that are succeeding with bad lines. I mean, Romo, Rodgers, Cutler, And you see what happens when any of those guys don't play outside of Rodgers in that one game. But that guy's on the bench now, so
right,
something to be said.
So David Wilson is getting.
David Wilson's gonna be getting carries because Brown got the broken leg, and I don't know who else they signed to try to shore it up, but they really thought they were gonna go Bradshaw Brown the rest of the season. And now they can't do that.
Right,
and then Bradshaw is a 17 carry back.
Exactly, and he makes the most of it. But and then my big performance for the week, we all kind of felt this way, but I have to acknowledge what happened in Kansas City.
Yeah.
If not only because the Saints aren't the lone win of the lone one-win team any longer, but on a serious note, with my own daughter on the way and my lifelong dream of fulfilling the role as a father, it's hard for me to imagine what scenario has to occur to not only take your own life, but that of the mother of your child. Something I just can't fathom, and something I feel I can say with certainty I will never have to fathom. All that said, that team suited up, that crowd showed up, and they got their second victory of the season. Should they have played, the two of you and the four of our listeners really aren't the authority to answer.
I agree with that.
That team did what they had to do to escape their harsh reality for 3 hours. Romeo Crennel said it best: we are football players and football coaches, and what we do is play and coach football on Sunday. And they did, and they won. Was it for the fallen? Was it for themselves? Or was it for the simple reality that they're better than the Panthers? None of that matters. Their performance on Sunday is nothing like the performance they'll need in their day-to-day lives going forward. That's the performance I'm acknowledging this week. And I don't think victories in the field mean as much today to any of those guys as they did a week ago. And that's my editorial, which I try to put in there each week.
Yeah, and that's
albeit wherever it lands.
There's only so much to add to it. I mean, that was obviously I'm a fantasy nerd, so I'm looking up Saturday evening like, hey, what's going on? All my guys gonna play, blah, 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 blah. NFL.com, top of the screen, I see this, and I'm like, that doesn't even sound like a real headline. Like, there's no way that really is what happened. No way. You start looking into it, okay, who is this? Oh, wow, yeah. Oh, and this kid play, oh, man, And it's just, that's a lot to wrap your mind around.
And I just hope it wasn't football related, because he only played 3 snaps the week before, but that was when Peter King had his pro football weekly guys look into it, or one of those scouting teams. It was just that they were in dime and in dime packages. And any passing situation, he's not on the field. Yeah. So I don't think it's that way, because why the girlfriend, it
doesn't sound like enough.
No, right, yeah. Exactly, and especially given his character.
Yeah, and it's just tough when it's something like that happens. There's stuff going on that you have no chance of knowing about.
Yeah, I can't fathom what was going through his head. I actually hope never to fathom that,
right?
Because murder-suicide, it's about the most selfish thing you could possibly do.
Right.
I mean,
and
if you kill somebody, if you commit murder, you still have to deal with the consequences.
Exactly.
And commit suicide, you're taking the coward's way out.
Right, so that's selfish, but taking someone else and then that is the most,
too. Yeah. So taking her away from all her family, and then taking himself away from all his family,
and leaving a 3-month-old.
My God,
girl.
I mean, that's just.
And his character didn't scream that, but he had enough.
Something.
He had enough mind to go to the facility, just to thank Romeo Crennel, but then kill himself in front of them. That's what I can't connect that.
I don't know what went down. Maybe it was something reactive, passionate that caused him to kill the girlfriend, and then he's like, okay,
these are the last people I want to thank for this opportunity. I think he tried to remove himself from that and then kill himself. But I think his apology went long, for lack of a better term, because it was just Pioli came out. Pioli had to. He called.
He asked
them two to come out. This is how much they trusted this guy. They knew he was not going to harm them, and maybe they can come out and convince him to put the gun down. So the biggest tragedy of all of it. Well, the biggest is there's a 3-month-old, without parents, and then second, we'll never know. Probably
not. And honestly, I think it'd probably be better off if we don't. Because there's nothing that you're going to hear that's going to make this situation any better. The more you know, the worse it's going to be. So I hope those guys can kind of move on. I hope they can take whatever positives they can take from the entire experience, whatever time they spent with the kid.
And Brady Quinn, his best performance, but not on the field, in that press conference.
Yeah.
That was the reality that he displayed. That, and we've never doubted him as a man. We've always doubted him. We doubt him as a quarterback because the stats don't lie.
Yeah.
But the way he took it, and people can criticize Cornell for not seeming like he was affected. The man was affected. But it's like Quinn said, he's a leader of men. It was our decision to play this game. It's what we do, and it was the best for us at that time. Let's take these 3 hours. Let's forget about what we're gonna have to deal with after the fact. Let's just go play football.
And you gotta let them have that decision.
Yeah.
So
no one should judge that.
Yeah, it's tough to measure, but for what it's worth, I mean, this is a game played by professionals, but emotion still seems to play a big role.
It's a huge
in
role.
how a lot of these teams perform.
And it may have, like I said, it may have ended up in a win, but a win that neither team needed, and it didn't matter.
Yeah, it's completely secondary to everything else.
Exactly. So that was it for that. I just wanted to acknowledge that, not because they won for that reason, but they won, and their performance will be the rest of their lives, really, especially Cornell and Pioli and Gary Gibbs, who people aren't mentioning, that witnessed this act. And that I know I will never have to fathom, and certainly wouldn't know how to.
Or wish upon anybody else.
Right. Yeah. So that will move on to lighter notes, our top 11, our NFL Week 14 power rankings. And this week we have a tie for the top spot for the first time, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe the second time.
Maybe.
But either way, I think as this goes on, I'm going to find more and more things that I'm mad at y'all about. But I don't know.
That's why we do this.
Yeah, let's see.
Starting with the Houston Texans, who were alone atop our rankings a week ago. Beat New England and Foxborough, and I officially become a believer. And well, you were who I thought you were.
Well, if they show up and lose, I don't think that's reason to.
I just don't think they're. I don't think they're elite. Yeah, that's who I think they are. I think they're a good football team. I've never said that, but a great football team. You do this.
Well, again, it's a relative scale here, right? So.
Yeah, it is.
I had them third in their conference. That's giving them praise, right?
With the Texans,
which might be right now might put them third overall.
Yeah, with the Texans and with Foos go, I think the people who like those teams the most got to be thinking, how many weeks is the princess going to be in another castle as far as credibility goes for those two teams? Because it's like, with Atlanta, they win. It's like, well, but that kind of don't count because you didn't do this and you didn't do that. And I feel, obviously, from my ranking, I feel a lot stronger about that on the Falcons situation than I do with the Texans. But at some point, these records are going to start having to kind of hold up and say, okay, now if you
win 11 to 12, no matter what.
You're getting there. You're getting to that point. And I think the Texans are quite a ways along. And I feel a certain way about their offense. I feel like the defense can be had in one-on-one secondary situations.
And the injuries are mounting.
And those one-on-one secondary situations, when you're playing for real good football teams that have for real good offenses, you're going to be in one-on-one secondary situations. And I don't like how that's looking for the Texans right now. But for now, they're winning games.
Right. Certainly. And anything? No.
Yeah. I got them number one.
The other team tied for first, who I had first overall, are the Denver Broncos, who you visited. Second a week ago. The difference in my thoughts of this team and the Texans are, I believe, more in their defense, which is healthier, and more in their quarterback, which goes without saying.
Yeah, the Broncos' body of work, I think, as far as number of games where they've shown up and gotten it done, or performed as good or better than they should have, I'd say that's like 11 out of 12. With the Texans, it's like 8 out of 12.
And I'm glad we had Houston won over Denver because they did beat them.
They did.
In Denver, no less. So I'm glad that it worked out that way. I just think today.
Yeah, I had the Broncos second, and I'm okay with them being tied for first. They showed me a lot yesterday, too. They started out a little
They beat
slow.
a good team.
They beat a good team, and they, Freeman got inaccurate in the third quarter, and that's really when
that's what he does.
It is kind of what he does. He's one of the least accurate.
And they went away from Doug Martin. Martin was running all over them in the first quarter, the first couple drives.
Yeah,
he was running at will.
Yeah. And by the way, one of the things from Broncos fans, I can tell they want the Patriots badly. between, that one game this season where Denver didn't play well.
And last year when they whooped them.
And last year in the playoffs.
Well, they'll get him in the championship.
They just might.
Possibly.
He was down.
Yeah, he's down.
So, and speaking of those Patriots, they're now rankings for the second week in a row. Your New England Patriots, Stefan. Tough 2-week stretch in front of them against the Texans and Niners, but both are at home, and both they should be favored in.
Yeah, and I'm trying to rank teams based on where they are right now. If they got tough road ahead, I don't let that impact my ranking of them.
No, I that's why I don't know. What do you want to see your previous? That kind of goes away from. It's a snapshot of today, so that doesn't dictate that as much.
I just didn't want to accidentally penalize some team that hadn't played,
Right, no, that's fine. Just trying to understand the process. And climbing our rankings from 7th to 4th, Stefan's other team, the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh,
Home field advantage throughout looks pretty good for them. But do you really feel a second-round matchup against the Giants, Niners, or Packers really favors their chances of finally ending their playoff skid?
Indoors?
Me neither.
Indoors? Yeah, no.
Not Green Bay. No, these teams are better indoors, their opponents.
They almost tricked us. For 2 months, they were super awesome and ridiculous and amazing and all.
We lost that
50
game
yards
Thursday
of
night.
this.
5 interceptions.
Yeah. 50 yards of this and 80 yards of that.
We held them under 200 yards total offense. Our defense.
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
And now, the last 2-3 weeks is...
Them and the 49ers a red flag.
Everything underneath, everything cheap. They're trying to just cheap their way up and down the field, and they don't have the personnel for that. They don't have the quarterback for that. They don't have the offensive line for that. And so now, what they're waiting on, for real, is for Michael Turner or Jacuzzi Rodgers to break 50-yard runs. Or for Julio to accidentally break a tackle.
Honestly, if you take that first drive out of the equation, which we're garbage in the first drive on defense, every game.
Is for sure.
You take that 80 yards out, they have 110 yards total for the game.
I do not like it.
No, that's not true.
Well, it's close to that. We held them pretty close to 200 yards.
No, they had like 270 for that game.
All right, so 190.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm sorry, but that was late though. After Drew's fourth interception.
Well, when you have 2 pick sixes, that tends to impact your offensive yardage.
It does.
But we were stopping them 3 and out. Our defense.
They were struggling.
Don't defend garbage.
Hey, I think they're good.
That's a shame.
Not garbage. I had them 3rd.
No, I had them 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
But it's just their offense is struggling, and against our defense, that should raise a red flag for you.
That's scary because they're just dropping.
Even though our defense is improving, but is that just the lack of? I don't know.
It's gonna be close.
Well, we held them under 300 yards.
Okay, but look at this. The last 2 games, Falcons have beaten 2 playoff contenders.
Don't put us there anymore.
Oh yeah.
Neither of those 2 teams are making the playoffs.
They were a contender at the time. Okay.
True.
they beat Tampa at home.
Yeah.
Close game, yes.
Yeah.
And then
they beat Tampa and Tampa.
And then they took New Orleans, who had won their last 3 games against Atlanta. It was like the feeling was
it was a big win, but we're just saying it's not their offense anymore. Their defense is playing. John Abraham's sacking the quarterback. They're doing. Their defensive line is stepping up. They're playing better on the other side of the ball, which might be scarier for opponents. But we're not worried about. We know Matt Ryan's going to crawl under a rock in January. But if this defense can get healthy and keep them around, they're the top team in our rankings in the NFC. So right now we feel they're there. And I don't. I have Green Bay ahead of them.
Y'all feel like that.
I've always had Green Bay ahead of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So, and speaking of Green Bay,
if I like Green Bay more now,
right? I know. Up to 5th from 9th in our rankings, and then lost by the Bears to the Seahawks. They're back. Yeah. They're back where they belong atop the NFC West. I say that because they're 8-4, but really they're 9-3. And I hate to see them lose. I would have hated to see them lose a chance to win a division because of that horrible call back in September. But ironically, the Seahawks beat the Bears to get them there.
I'm so traumatized.
Hey, I'm not a Packers fan. You know
Green Bay losing
I think Aaron Rodgers is the biggest douchebag in the world.
I want Green Bay. They just need to spot Green Bay 8 points every week.
But as far as talent goes,
win some more games.
If I got to pick a team in the NFC right now, it is not my Saints.
Yeah.
I don't know any Packers fans. I'll roll with them.
Yeah, except for that Giants game. Yeah, they've been really strong lately.
And that
was a week ago. But but they've gotten healthier too since then, and they're getting healthier.
They really are. The thing
on both sides of the ball.
Rodgers is again. I gave kudos. If you can play well with a bad offensive line, you're a damn good quarterback. and your backup can't replicate what you're doing, so you're huge for your team.
Well, Flynn did a little bit of that last year, but that was fully healthy offense.
And that was against Detroit Lions,
exactly.
which is a wonderful organization filled with character,
of course.
people.
Yeah.
But Rodgers is putting it up. He's doing what he can. The stats aren't amazing. Fantasy football, people are ticked off. But when you watch the game, this guy is still making throws. Whatever he's
extending plays.
Yeah, it's like twice of what they should have.
Well, and they're running the football, which even Mike McCarthy realized, wait a minute, maybe if I get a balanced attack.
Ooh.
With my defense crippled, maybe if I could extend the game or lessen the game.
Shorten it,
Yeah, maybe
that. The defense is constantly on the field.
Even that fucking idiot figured that out.
Maybe they won't get tired.
James Starks is running 20-yard touchdowns now because nobody expects him to be a smart fella.
He came around the corner like, whoa,
touchdown, 20 yards.
And you don't dare put 8 in the box against Rodgers.
No, you can't. Which is why it's obvious to try to run the football. Mm-hmm. But it took him 12 weeks. It only took our interim 2 weeks. In our interim, he did it immediately. Doesn't matter when your defense is historically bad, but that's turned, and that's why I don't want to make it about me, but of course I do. But that's why these last 2 losses have hurt so much for the Saints. Our defense is playing better than enough.
Better than way better.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
better than they were in the beginning of the season.
Those right. Well, no, the last 2 weeks they did everything they needed to do to win the football game.
Yeah.
And the best player on our team, the fourth or fifth best player in the league, you don't expect him to let you down.
And that's kind of what you got to call it at this point.
Right.
No, I was stunned by that.
Well, speaking of quarterbacks who aren't letting their team down, the sixth team this week, down from third, the Chicago Bears. The offensive line played pretty well. They only give up 1 sack to that sack-happy Seattle group. But the defense did show a large chink in their armor by way of their ineffectiveness against mobile quarterbacks. Which, if we
start going through
the NFC, other than Atlanta, which we're not really worried about come January, have mobile quarterbacks. And the injuries again. Tillman leaves the game. The lineman, Urlacher left the game in the last series, which ultimately decided
he's no help against running.
He was exhausted. You saw him trying to run out the muscle, and it's like, and I think Briggs is damaged. Like there's just, and they've got the Ravens defense tonight, or offense. Sorry, for the Giants.
Ravens offense. Yeah.
But
oh man,
I'm starting to think they might not make the playoffs at this point. The schedule, they get Minnesota, and then they get Green Bay. Those are division rivals. I'm not sure how it ends beyond that, but
division games
toss-ups
season are just tough.
Yeah.
To call, you show up with the wrong look on your face and look up and you're down 10-0, and before you know it,
and especially I think this one's in Minnesota. So if you can't host Seattle to beat them,
and losing to Seattle
at home, that's big
in terms of tiebreaker too.
Everything.
Now they're only
and it ended our hopes at all.
Yeah, if it ends up that the Bears and Seahawks are fighting for that last wild card spot, that's Seattle. I'm
not sure that they're going to get there.
Yeah.
You got to watch yourself when you want to try to hate on that power, man, because the power is coming, man. They're sneaking around. They're winning. Now
games. He's winning games for them. He's not managing. He's winning games for them.
No
Sidney Rice might be knocked out to next.
He might be dead.
Right.
So that play.
But he's winning games for them now.
So you look at that situation there, and that's scary because these wins count. And if these other teams, including the home team, if they're going to keep losing, Seattle wins a couple more games, you're going to be looking at a playoff berth in the NFC.
And that division isn't even sealed up yet, but in the West, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we can get to that.
The other team.
I want to know where y'all got them.
The other team tied at around what you did.
All right.
The other team tied at 6th, up from 8th. The New York Giants playing right now. I dropped them to 9th because I assume they're going to lose tonight. And this is a great win against the Packers last week. Tonight they're in the nation's capital to face the Redskins. They're favored in this one, so I suspect they'll lose.
That is,
making the final 4 weeks in the NFC East just as interesting as they are every other year.
Yeah.
But it's got 2 catches already.
Yes.
Yeah, the Giants lose tonight, then it gets messy.
6-6, 7-5. 6-6, and then the Eagles have gone to pasture at 3-9. But though it will be a 3-team race, And there's some tiebreakers. Well, actually, they've all beaten each other like we predicted going in, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. So, and that's kind of where we're headed if that plays out, and that's why they're in my rankings. They were 9th. Y'all had them a little higher. Maybe y'all assume they'll win tonight. I didn't. That's what kind of I guess had them 6th and not 5th or whatever. But
yeah,
I didn't forget about the Packers win, but this was assuming a loss tonight.
Yeah, and they play well. It seems like they play well when it counts. And now November's over, so now they're like, oh, we got to hurry up and win these games.
But when they're favored, does that mean, I don't know. Does that mean it doesn't count? I don't know.
Yeah,
he needs to play like an us against the world. Everybody's picking the other team, and that Kaufman kind of coaches on a us against the world mentality.
And maybe that's, I mean, for some reason,
what happens
when it counts, but because people don't favor them. Because the things that they have aren't. I mean,
when Cruz hadn't scored a touchdown, and God knows,
and he's
because Eli hadn't thrown one, and God knows,
he had 3 straight
until
games
last week.
Yeah,
But
so it's just
that's why he's not elite. You can't be elite and not throw it, not be relevant in passing stats
for a month,
right? A month
with today's offense.
Right. In today's making of the game, that's why he's not elite, and that's why you can make that argument. Fine, he's got 2 Super Bowl wins. It's fine, but if I'm starting a list, fine. But I'm sorry. But if I'm starting a list of 10 quarterbacks, I get to 8 or 9, and before I get to him, I really can. Especially given the talent that he's had at receiver. I don't want to get into that discussion, but another one we can talk about. Flacco in 8th in our rankings, down from 6th. Actually, versus the Baltimore Ravens. Stefan and I didn't penalize them as much as Art did for the loss to the Steelers. But this injury-riddled team will get healthy just in time to make another run in the AFC.
When are we gonna hate on the Baltimore? Can I do it now, or you want me to wait till we name the other team?
Well, we can wait.
Okay, we'll wait. Okay, go ahead.
They got a tough schedule ahead, though.
They do.
That's,
they do, but maybe they're like the Giants, because they do play the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, they can still beat all those teams.
Right. Maybe they need to be. I don't know. There was no need for more motivation than they had. Maybe if Ben plays.
Emotion playing a role.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. The theme of the podcast. On the flip side, a team that Art likes a little bit more than Stefan and I, the Indianapolis Colts, continue their climb in our rankings and in the AFC, rising from 9th to 10th. In our rankings, I think they're in the playoffs now. But if people think those 2 games against the Texans in weeks 15 and 17 won't mean anything to the Texans, they're crazy, record-wise and personally.
People are not paying attention, and that's why I'm starting to love them a little bit too much. If I'm guilty of that, I'll call myself out on it. But look, 8-4 counts, and in the AFC, we're talking about some teams.
No, I had them in the top 10.
We got some teams with some limping going on. We got the Texans are the team with the record, and you know they're not above getting lazy and going to sleep and not being able to wake up in time. New England and old man is kind of what's standing in everybody's way, but stuff happens. Stuff can happen to those guys too. And now here you go. You got this team like the Colts. They got the Chiefs and they got the Titans, and then they got the Texans twice. I mean, you're not telling me they can't win 3 of those games? I mean, they could win. They're probably going to win.
Well, they could certainly win Week 17 when possibly the Texans are just holding seed at 2.
Well, if they win 2, then they're in the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs.
They would.
Cincinnati's not going to continue.
Cincinnati and Pittsburgh are 7-5. Those are,
they'll eliminate each other.
Yeah, I think they still have to play each other.
They do. So they'll.
Yeah, and those are the only teams better than 5 and 7.
That's the final wild card. That's the final wild card.
Yeah, that's it.
Not Oakland. Sorry, Stefan.
Yeah. Not Tennessee either.
We had Cincy. No, I had Cincy.
You had Tennessee wins the division.
Because I fucking hate the Texans.
I know.
Oh, okay. Wrong is still wrong.
But Cincy's in. Well, nobody had the Colts, so I'll take Tennessee over not having the Colts.
None of us had the Colts. And regards Art's pick, I mean, I like the wins, and you're right, they do count. But what worries me is the points scored, points against differential. They're minus 41 on the season, which you don't often see with 8-4 teams.
Yeah,
I know they had the one blowout loss against the Patriots.
That's it. That's your differential.
Then they're about even up, and they're 8-3. So that's still. I mean, they're scrappy. they're winning some close games.
They're winning close games.
That's good to see.
No doubt.
Close one against Green Bay.
And that'll go a long way in my pick this week.
That point scored, points against, I think it tends to even out over the season, although we are like 3/4 of the way through the season, so maybe it won't. But
and you have to think this.
I still rank him 10.
That's where I had him.
Yeah.
And you have to think this. That's more. People are tearing down their wins, but the win's a win. In a situation where there's such a.
Man, why don't you say the same thing about the Fool's Gold Falcons?
I'm getting there. Because this team has more upside.
Oh, definitely.
This kid's only going to get better.
But the Falcons don't do it this year, then
right.
Forget about it.
So, and they're just getting better. And the Falcons don't have a Reggie Wayne. The Falcons don't have a Dwight Freeney. They have a John Abraham, but he's playing out of his ass, which means he's due for injury. Mm-hmm. Honestly, and I'm not gonna. Atlanta's better than the Colts today, no doubt. Mm-hmm. But Andrew Luck's getting better each week.
Yeah.
So you have to. They're going to be critiqued on a different level.
Yeah. Well, expectations were 0 this year, so 4 looks awesome. And it is.
It is.
They just get a lot of props for that.
Yes. So move on to the team you were wondering about.
Which team is that now?
That fell furthest in our rankings.
Go ahead.
You were wondering about them.
Did I leave my hurt there?
They're right. Fell from 5th to 10th. The San Francisco 49ers.
I'm fine with that.
Still not sure if that quarterback change is going to bite Harbaugh in the ass, but the more I see, the more I don't like. The defense is great, but under Singletary it was too, and that amounted to not even no playoff wins, not even playoff appearances. Yeah. So
a lot of pants dropped.
They've got right. I'm not certain anymore. I never was certain of this, especially after I saw what the Saints defense was able to keep him. How they played well against Kaepernick.
That's true.
We lost by 11, and we spotted them 14. So do the math.
When you throw a lot of outside the hash, longer passes,
and the only reason they lost yesterday was he lost the game. St. Louis didn't score an offensive touchdown.
Yeah, that play call was like, I cannot believe y'all just called it.
And that's not his fault. Out of the end zone, right?
The execution obviously wasn't what it needed to be. But when you got a young guy,
don't put that on him.
You can't put if you screw this up, it's probably a touchdown for the defense type play on anybody.
Right.
So, but I agree that they took some chances with it. And when you got that type of defense, okay. But they didn't even give a defense a chance to make a stop on that when you're giving up defensive touchdowns.
No, and I don't want the fact to be not said that they were lucky to tie that team the first time.
That is.
They should have lost both of these games.
They got a couple of wonky calls.
Yeah. They should have lost both of these to the Rams.
Was that the game where Smith went out? Or
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they should have. I mean, Amendola was out of bounds at the 2-yard line, they were ready to kick the winning field goal.
And then they were like, magical holding
call. So that's the second time they should have lost to that team. And that's two defenses that aren't great. The Saints and Rams. The Rams are scrappy. We can be, but that's not good to hang your hat on.
Personnel-wise.
Right.
You should be able to have an offense. If you got
with
pieces,
those weapons.
Yeah, with those pieces that you have, you should have somebody at the helm.
You brought this guy in to open it up, and against those two defenses, it should have been party time. And it wasn't. So
he made all the throws, but he didn't even make all the throws in the game against Chicago. We sat here and watched him miss 4 or 5.
Chicago just didn't show up.
But he missed 4 or 5 throws in that game.
Right.
So he's missing 5 to 10 throws now.
Right.
And
he's allowed to do that, but to bench someone who was leading the league in most statistical categories outside of yards and touchdowns, as far as efficiency and all these other things, this is going to come back to bite him. Not only if they don't win the Super Bowl, because I think it's coming to that point.
Yeah.
But they might not win the division.
I agree. Now look, I may have to go ahead and give you some kudos on something you said in the preseason, though. You said Harbaugh's temptation to get cute might have screwed him. We didn't know just how cute he was going to get.
Right.
He wanted to open up the offense so bad.
Swapping quarterbacks.
That he swapped a quarterback. He was like, oh, concussion. Oh, yes, new quarterback because I want to open this shit up.
Right.
And
it's a temptation. Randy Moss is in the field more. Manningham's in the field more.
And now I think he's got to live with it.
Right? No, you can't turn back.
He's got to stick with it.
You can't turn back. Alex Smith, I hope that the Chiefs uniform looks good because that's what you had.
San Fran's
and
remaining
good
games,
luck to you.
They're at Buffalo, home against Minnesota. They're
I hope he
at
goes
Tampa,
home,
and then week 17 they're at Seattle.
That's a division. That game might. They're only a game and a half ahead, right?
And do you want to be? Do you want to be susceptible to the power when you need to win a game?
And it's at
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yes. San Francisco won their first game.
Right, barely. We were Thursday night.
Right.
So wow. And if those corners can delay this suspension until next year, if they don't, Seattle's going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
But if they can keep this,
It's just blitz more.
right? Well, but. They need to keep. That's why they blitz the way they do. It's because they can. Get the two best cover corners that are healthy in the league right now. Right. Those two guys go away. Seattle's an afterthought. I'm shocked y'all didn't have them ranked. I had them 10th. That was a huge win for them.
Seattle.
Yeah.
I had them 13th.
Right. Not in our top in 11.
I screwed them up, but I was having trouble.
Because that's a defining win for them.
It was a huge win.
The Saints don't win in Chicago. I mean, it's December, people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge win for them.
Man, I'm not.
I did not want that to go unnoticed.
I guess I was kind of more like ho-hum because I believe in the power. And also, I got some issues with the Chicago offense.
Yeah, y'all both had them 13th. I had them 10th. I thought they deserved to be in our top 11.
They're starting to get to that point.
But it's hard to bump anyone. But I bumped somebody.
I'm looking at the 12.
Who did you bump?
Like,
I don't know.
Who do I drop? You know?
Well, we haven't mentioned the team I was dying to hate on yet. Are they number 11?
I doubt it. Because closing our top 11 this week, yes. Previously unranked. You're not going to hate on them, but right. It's a segue to your hate.
Oh, okay, good. Let's go.
Yes.
I think, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, that's right, because y'all had them above.
Right.
That's right. Now, y'all wouldn't let me hate them.
Off of their improbable win in Baltimore yesterday. Props to Charlie Batch to getting his second and likely final chance as a starter in the NFL and making the most of it with a win over their bitter rival.
In Baltimore.
Right, in Baltimore. They did get a huge assist from Ravens offensive coordinator Cam Cameron, who felt 12 carries was all Ray Rice needed. Oops. Wah, wah, wah.
I was watching that game with my lady, and we were sitting here, and I couldn't explain, because she's getting into football.
Should I start some romantic music?
She's going to subject herself. She's going to subject herself to football on my behalf. That's how great she is.
Why is that little guy not getting the ball?
And I kept seeing Pierce in the game, and I wanted to try to explain, but I was like, I can't even explain this shit. It's so silly. Like, where the hell is Ray Rice?
And it's not like they were shutting him down.
And I was like, did Ray Rice get hurt?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea what happened. And you know I've been hating on this all season long, even in the preseason. This whole every 3 plays, Flacco closes his eyes and throws a 50-yard pass and hopes for a flag. And if they call the flag, they're down there. If they don't, whatever. And then once every 8 times, somebody accidentally catches a pass. And they roll with that like that's their offense. And I know if they don't, look, Bolden and slow.
Forgetting they have the best running back in football.
Yeah, Bolden and slow.
That's a shame.
Nairobi Jones is Nairobi Jones. Torrey Smith is a young cat trying to earn his way. So I imagine having super time and precision routes is probably not the best plan. But work on it.
When is that Bolden drive going to end? Like, this one drive a game, it always ends up at a touchdown. I'm just going to throw to Bolden 7 times until he scores. And it worked yesterday. Yeah. I mean, it works. Do that once a game and you get a touchdown.
It's just, their offense is...
I try to do the porn movie.
Cam has to, they got to get rid of that guy. Because there should be no games where Ray Rice ends up with 12 carries. Unless he's playing hurt.
Or they're down 30-0.
And just 1 catch.
Unless he's playing hurt, there's no reason.
Well, the other kid got some carries. He got drives. I thought Ray Rice got hurt. I'm like, this is the way.
Pierce had 8 carries.
Yeah, and that was on 1 drive.
Yeah, because he was in. Yeah, they didn't even go to the Ray Rice on the sideline bullshit around Cam.
Right.
Like
we're adverse to victory.
Yeah, like we're gonna give Charlie Batch a chance to take his coat off and get his stuff.
And get his, and in his defense, his 40-year career, he didn't want to leave it on the 3 interception, 8 turnover note. He took his last chance because Ben will be back this week, and good for him. He got a win, and that's a big win for a team that desperately needed a big win.
That's right.
So and other teams receiving votes. Seattle, like I said, I had him 10th. Y'all both had him 13th.
Yeah.
Cincy, I had him 15th. Art had him 12th. Stefan had him 9th. The Saints, Stefan had him 15th. Neither didn't rank. Art and I didn't rank him. Tampa I had 13th. Art 15th. Stefan didn't rank them after seeing them in person. Washington,
They were
I had
playing
him.
against Denver.
Washington, I had him 14th. Art didn't rank them. Stefan 14th. St. Louis, I didn't rank them. Art ranked them 14th. And then Stefan did not rank them. On to the Whim hits, which are our NFL Week 14 picks. NFL, yeah, against the spread. This week currently, I'm 8-7. Art's 5-10. Stefan 6-9.
Yeah.
As I said, I gifted us the 9. It was 9.5, but the Packers won by 9. So we all got that one. I won't go over season other than Stefan is fighting for 500 at 93-96. Art and I's are not mentionable.
All right.
So
This was a bad week.
I'm hovering.
Harold did pretty well.
I'm hovering. 500 for me. Yes.
I wasn't talking about
For me, that's a huge victory.
That's like
All right.
the Colts being 4.
So we start Thursday night. Denver heads to Oakland. Minus 10.5.
That might not be enough, but I don't know. Garbage points at home. Carson Palmer, the master of the 180-yard, 2-touchdown fourth quarters. The Raiders are horrible.
They're really bad.
They're bad at everything. The Raiders are bad at everything. But how long before?
Well, McFadden's back. I'm guessing.
They got to get.
Oh, well, the Broncos for sure. Then. He's not. He might not even be back for sure. I don't trust that fool.
Well, what I've learned from Thursday night games is home teams seem to they favored well, especially 10.5's a lot. I don't want to take Oakland, but I have to. That's 10.5's a lot.
Home team is favored well.
Home teams, yeah. Buffalo won. Atlanta won. I can't think.
Maybe recently, yeah. Maybe the last few weeks, but remember the first month it was
Green Bay beat Chicago. That was home. I mean, most of the ones they've won. I don't know if they've covered, but 10.5 is.
That's what.
Yeah. That's the only reason I'm doing that.
I'll go with Denver. I just.
You've seen them in
can't
person,
divide Oakland either.
right? No, I'm just playing 10.5. You give me 10.5 at home,
Yeah.
short week. I have to take it. Especially Tampa's a physical team. Denver got beat up, but Oakland did too, playing Cleveland. But right now, Baltimore goes to DC. It's a pick 'em right now.
Baltimore going to DC.
And I'll interject. Pittsburgh beat them, so their Ravens should be able to beat them. And is this a rivalry? These two teams, right? I mean, they're pretty close.
Wait, Pittsburgh beat Washington, so the Ravens should be able to beat them?
Beat them easily.
But Pittsburgh beat the Ravens.
But the Ravens beat
We're
Pittsburgh.
talking back. No, don't call a flag.
The Ravens beat Pittsburgh. So what?
Yes.
Both on the road. So maybe
we
Baltimore's
now-
better on the road against.
So we now know nothing.
But it's right. But is this a rivalry game? Do you think? I don't know. They probably play once every 4. They definitely play once every 4 years. But they're right. They're right across the street, right?
True. Yeah.
I mean, they're
Still
so-
getting a Redskins ticket is like impossible. I mean,
Oh, God, yeah.
It's not going to be.
Well, especially
a lot
without
of
G3.
Baltimore fans.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Well,
it's
they're one of the teams with a 30-year waiting list. You know.
Right. Even when they were bad, which has been a while.
I'll go with Washington.
I'll go Washington.
Still can't get a line. I'll take Baltimore.
Contrarian.
We had them when we had them, so
Yeah, but
I gotta keep them there. To do that, they've got to win this game. And that's bold. I didn't.
they're not above.
Yeah,
that
that's
game.
right. And Eli Cruz finally catches the pass downfield,
Salsa dance.
and those Kansas City Chiefs that we talked about. They go to Cleveland. +5. They're getting 5 points. Cleveland getting 5 points. When was the last time the Browns have been favored by 5 points over anybody?
In February,
It's,
burn the coals off.
I would say, probably about a decade.
Maybe
That's fair.
Maybe since the Braylon.
It might be longer.
Maybe since that Braylon Edwards year.
No, yeah, with
maybe the year after that.
Did they play the Colts last year? Because the Colts were pretty.
Still would have been 5. That'd have been
Yeah,
like
they
they were
got
equally
5
they
there.
were equally shitty. Well, yeah, when they had
No, the Colts were over though.
what was the quarterback?
Derek Anderson.
Yeah, Derek Anderson.
yeah.
That was an 11-win team.
Yeah.
Missed the playoffs, but 11
Because of the
wins. That's
push-out
only
rule.
Cleveland win 11 games and missed the playoffs.
Well, and New England.
Because of the push-out rule.
Right.
Carl.
Right.
No,
Well, yeah.
Castle here.
True. So for that matter, I'll take Kansas City. Cleveland getting 5 is just I can't even.
That's insane.
I have to see it to believe it.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
They beat Oakland and struggled.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't like that. I get the Chiefs too.
That's sweet.
Oh, cheats. Freudian slip.
Whiskey.
Yeah, the Chiefs.
Browns.
San Diego at Pittsburgh, no line. Because I'm assuming they don't know if Big Ben's going to play. I think he's going to play.
I'm fine, Steelers.
Right.
Like
I think
what?
he's going to play, but I think it's going to be. What do you think? 8, 6, 6 to 8, 7. Touchdown at least, right on the road.
It'll be 6.5, 7, I would think.
Yeah, that's a sweep. Well, I'll take
Yeah.
Pittsburgh there.
Still go Pittsburgh.
Noah
I'll confirm it tomorrow, but
Noah keep hoping he gets fired. His phone rings like, hello.
and
Noah, if you're coming over here for practice, shit.
Yes, I am interested in
I still have to show up.
improving my long distance service.
Right.
Very interested.
Yes. Tennessee travels to Indy,
And loses.
but will they lose by 5?
Yes.
I'll take Tennessee.
All right.
Indy, they don't win without dramatics.
Yeah, but
So
They have been squeaking by.
that's true.
I'll give you that.
and Chris Johnson will run all over Indy. So that'll keep him in the game.
But
King
if his head's
hits.
in the game.
Hey, this is when they took last week off. Jets. Speaking of heads in the game, Jets. Who Rex Ryan says we probably have as good a situation at quarterback with our 3 guys as any team in the league
When did he say that?
That's a lie.
today.
Today?
That's
How
a
can
lie.
he lie, bold face
Drugs.
to everyone? Because
It's gotta be drugs.
if he believes it, then he needs to be fired. And I don't think he needs to be
As
fired.
good a situation.
But they go to right as anybody else without 3 guys. One of them is hurt in a fullback. The best one is
McElroy.
and he was. That's a small scale set of what we've seen or whatever.
It's not saying much.
No, and I'm not ready to throw Sanchez off the ship yet because that's but you should want him. That's a great Arizona secondary. So
Yeah.
that's 3 picks is about right. But
Throw
the-
Sanchez from the boat.
but they're in fact favored
I'm up
in
there.
Jacksonville by 3.
They actually should be. I mean,
This is the only team I would favor the Jets. This is the only team that the Jets would be favored over to me right now. So I'll take it. It's 3 points, whatever. Nobody's gonna be in that goddamn stadium.
yes.
So
Forget the home.
it's not gonna be a home field. Not that it's been for some time now.
I'll go with Jackson.
And maybe they'll just scoot Tebow across the field and say, "Why don't you just take him now and just figuratively send us that 5th round pick or whatever you want to give us. You can keep it."
I'm
Honey
taking
baked
the Jets. Yeah, Jacksonville's a train wreck.
Yeah. Is that a sweep? Oh, we don't know. Sweep? I don't know if you said.
Well, how could they have a line for that game already? That doesn't make sense. I mean, the Jets.
Because they know McElroy, Sanchez is the same thing.
It's not.
They're all going to get about
Right, it's
16 points.
figuratively. It's literally the same thing.
It's not.
And Cecil Short, maybe his injury.
I don't want to talk about it.
Right, maybe that's
Jacksonville.
all right. Making me tight more. All right.
I'm sorry.
Chicago goes to Minnesota. 3-point favorites. -3 in Minnesota.
Bears. Bears. I mean, I get it, but Bears. Minnesota's been fighting, but they're not going to be able to run as much as they were able to run.
I think.
There's going to be no Percy.
Really?
I doubt it.
Still out?
I'm assuming Percy doesn't play again this year.
You'd think he would impact the line, too.
Oh, yes!
He's got every catch. How is that possible?
He loves me.
He's got like every catch. He's the anti-Antonio Gates.
This guy.
Antonio.
He's got every
This
catch.
dude is running Chris Browns? Oh, man, look at this guy.
He's got every catch. I've seen Cruz is the only guy I've seen have a catch.
Awesome.
Anyway, I'm not so sure. The way Peterson is running,
Yeah, oh, thank you.
the way Peterson is running, I think I don't know. This is a tough one for me. This is when I was on the fence.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Minnesota really has a home field. Jared Allen came out and said my shoulder's hurt, which means hit him in the shoulder, dumbass.
Especially for Chicago.
Right. So, I don't know.
Minnesota's defense just hasn't been there lately, for whatever reason. So I'm going with Chicago. I mean, I know they just played 2 weeks ago, so Chicago won that one, but
Going away.
A&M has your back. That's funny.
He's been. Are you still in there? You've been good.
I'm gonna go with Chicago because if you're one dimensional against Chicago, they kind of got you, provided they have anybody healthy. So and the Vikings are certainly one dimensional.
Yeah, and
no person.
I wanted a reason to take Minnesota, but I really don't have one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree. It's a sweep.
They're 5-1 at home. How's that? That's a reason.
Yeah, but I do think the Bears, they benefit playing away a little bit from home sometimes. Like they don't have to deal with that shitty field, and so like Art said, the one dimension's just not gonna.
Yeah,
Ponner's not even throwing it anymore. He's not even trying.
He's like an Arizona quarterback.
Right. I mean, he's not making mistakes, but he's just not trying to make plays either.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He didn't trust Jerome Simpson. That thing hadn't worked out.
well, and it's fair, and then that's a fair. Who are you going to throw to? They should have kept Sidney Rice. They should have done a lot of things, but
when Sidney was hurting, now that he's finally come out healthier 2 years later, then it's like, well, okay, maybe it's easy to say that now, but when you got a guy limping around for 8 months, 9 months, he shows up out of shape. You look at him, you say, I'm not going to pay you to come up here and be out of shape and disappoint us. So, but they got nothing for weapons now. So they got to come up with something.
right, and that's why we'll sweep it, Chicago.
Yeah.
And the NFC South battle,
The South.
Falcons head to Carolina,
Ooh, say the number.
3.5.
So somebody else doesn't really like Fool's Gold either.
I don't dislike him that much. Come on.
Yeah, I even took Atlanta this week. I even took him, hoping for the reverse jinx, but yeah.
Something we don't. But that's
Another.
Now look, it's sensitive information to say, but how unlucky do you have to be playing against Kansas City that week?
Well,
I mean, it's the smallest point to make, but really, like that's the week you end up having to play Kansas City. It's
a lost season for them.
And still, I'm not certain that, like I said, that they're just not the better team.
And
to be honest,
but with the Panthers, well, character-wise, I mean, something's up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you got to take the Falcons on that. They get especially if they're going to try to show up and pretend to run the ball.
well, they win. I think it's over for the conference. So they're playing for something still.
Yeah, so that works.
Let's see. Well, you got some other teams that could go 12-4, but
Oh yeah,
it's coming.
Ben.
So it's coming.
they clinched the division, obviously. But
Yeah, I don't talk about it.
you don't.
It's coming! Oh, fucking right!
How is that even?
Martellus Bennett.
7 wins in a row. Damn it!
It was 0-6. He's won.
0-6, 7-6. What's up?
So does this mean the Redskins?
My win streak's only 6 for the year. That's been snapped. That's awesome.
So the Redskins
Come
can't
on.
cover tight ends? Is that the deal here?
Oh, they just don't care to. Somebody looked at some film. Philly at Tampa. +7.
Oof. Signs your season is over. You're getting a touchdown from the Bucs.
And I'm going to go ahead and take Tampa. Because it's hard to run on Tampa.
That's right. They've been fighting because they could run, and you can't run against Tampa. So that.
And Bryce is about to fumble his way up out of.
I don't know about that.
Even though
He dropped 2-1, so now it's 0.
really.
And the last one was was not. It was a good play
It was, but
by a desperate Dallas defense.
Yeah, but he's a target now, and so you're playing against a team that stops the run.
Remember, they only lost by 5 last night.
And guess what he's working on all this week? Not fumbling.
Right.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that play last night,
That kid,
I think it was like
good, man, and he got
it was Ware making a punch at the ball. I mean,
he
that's
got
just.
a hell of a future, but look, the Eagles they got no weapons on.
No,
offense.
I'm with you. I got Tampa.
And that defense, that defense is embarrassing.
Oh, it quit.
Yeah.
And they have to keep getting
Quit
rid
a
of
long
people
time
trying
ago.
to pretend like they're trying
That's
to
when you
fix
get Romo and I'm like chuckling. It's like, well, it's Tampa. It was Philly's defense. I don't know.
I'm done picking Philly.
Yeah.
Tampa.
Even with 7, especially on the road.
Even though I saw Tampa Bay play this weekend.
Right, in person.
It was against them.
Which he dropped them in the rankings. But St. Louis, Buffalo. Goes to Buffalo. Buffalo favored by 3.
Ooh.
Tantalizing 3-point line.
Don't make me like Buffalo more than I should. They're basically
No.
saying it's a pick 'em.
Right.
I'm going.
I don't think this was in Toronto.
No, I don't think so.
When the Rams don't win, they really.
But Buffalo's run D has it's finally picked up the last 3 weeks.
The Rams have been needing a lot of opportunities and squirrely stuff, and the Bills aren't above an occasional turnover. They're slow in the middle at linebacker, but I don't know if that does anything for the Rams.
I think it does. If Amendola plays, i.e. Better Welker, the Rams win.
I thought that was Edelman.
And the Bills,
saying
for the
that's
Rams.
He's saying this too.
For the Rams. So that and the Buffalo's used to being torched by a little white man. But if Amendola plays, yes, give me St. Louis all day. But if he doesn't, I'll take Buffalo. So that's my contingency here. I assume he'll play. They sat him this past week. Fuck it, I'll take the Rams in a row. Buffalo's not going to win 3 in a row, whatever they're on. Whatever, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. They lost 2 weeks ago, but
Yeah.
in a game they shouldn't have won. But they shouldn't have lost. To the Colts, they lost 20-13.
That is
So
correct.
they're not. Are they really going to get to 500? No, they're the Bills. Sadly, I believe in the Rams more than the Bills at this point in the season, especially with Amendola in the lineup.
I'm going with Mother Nature here and picking the Bills.
You think it's gonna? What is it gonna be that bad?
I'm guessing it's going to be. It's at least going to be cold. I don't know if it's going to be snowing
With
or anything.
slant
like
routes all day.
that. Yeah, but the Rams are a dome team. They're not good on the road.
They're not good, but
Well, they're not good. 4-1 in the division, but
Right.
And this
Which
isn't
is-
a division.
which is unfathomable. But
right.
But then when you
It
think
was really
about
5-0 if you honestly.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, they probably had another win there, but yeah, I'll go with Buffalo and the weather.
That's why he takes it, St. Louis. I think they beat better teams. They beat teams that are better than them, and well, everybody's better than them.
And Buffalo's worse than them, so they'll lose.
Yeah, Steve Johnson in danger of not playing with a hamstring. It's cold. Having a bad hamstring in cold weather is bad. Ask Jordan Nelson.
Jeff Fisher, the power. I'm rolling with the Jeff Fisher power.
Uh,
And it means that we're officially eliminated if
Yeah.
they win, I think. So.
yeah, the Bills are gonna.
Oh, really? The Rams?
I mean, I don't know. They're in the mix.
They're in the mix, yeah.
Yeah, the Bills are gonna run the ball apparently, and they just were joking about this whole Fred Jackson not getting carries thing. 'Cause he had 25. So
But the 49ers didn't exactly run it efficiently.
yeah, I'm rolling with the Bills on this. Just I'll be wrong because I still love them a little bit more than I should. 'Cause
No, I'm just going on. I just think the model that New England beats Buffalo with by 30 or 40, St. Louis can implement and win by 7. I just do. They have the right personnel.
Yeah, New England had that one game against the Bills that was like the 45-point second half, but the other one was close.
Right,
It was like
but it's
37.
one a year that they do this.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling with that. I like Amendola more than most. Dallas goes to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's 3-point favorites.
I'm sticking with the Bengals. Riding the
too.
Cincy train.
If it was 4, I'd go the other way, but it's
Yeah.
3, so I'll take Cincy in a
Yeah.
close win. Their defense is playing too well right now.
and they're staying healthy, and it was looking like that was a question for a minute. Garcon out there randomly catching passes.
That's
I'll
all
tell
I
you
need.
what, that guy right there. The Bengals are trying to trick me into thinking that they're good, but I believe them.
Dallas is
I
2.
believe them more. Than I
Right,
believe
exactly.
Dallas.
All
I
right,
think
so
that
it's
defense,
a sweep.
Yeah, that defense will get up behind, and you put Hall on Dez, and they might have to call some plays Dez doesn't know, and then
Right.
now you got a problem.
The Bengals quietly have 6 more points this season than the Packers.
And I lost this week because Dez left the game for like 5 minutes and Miles Austin got a catch and it was a touchdown. That's why I lost. I fought off Adrian Peterson, Calvin Johnson, Peyton Manning, Jason Hansen, or whatever. The highest.
Really?
I fought off all that, and Miles Austin gets a touchdown because Des Bryant's combing his pubic hairs on the sideline and misses a series, and that's Miles Austin gets a catch and it's a touchdown.
Miles Austin.
That's why I lost in that league. That's why I'm begging for Pierre Garçon, punk ass. Anyway, this is the most interesting line for me this week. Miami goes to San Francisco.
Go ahead and say what that
What do you think?
I'm assuming it's offensive. With no Jake Long, I'm assuming it's like aggressively.
Wait, Jake Long, sir?
Yeah. Yeah, he tore his triceps, I think.
And they're saying he's out for the year, most likely. So
Oh.
that line needs to be.
It's got to be a touchdown, right?
I'm assuming it's more than that because it's got to be like 11 or 12 because people are convinced.
But
that
St. Fran
Miami's
just laid an egg in St. Louis, so
yeah, but
they really get that much.
People are thinking San Fran is like, oh, they're gonna be on the comeback trail and they're gonna be ticked off.
It's 10.
With 10, all right.
But I don't know about the Jake Long thing, but still, that's
huge for me.
But I'm more predicated on my position is more predicated on Miami's defense. Mm-hmm. So 10,
and they're on the road, right?
Right, which is where they play. Right, and it's a
why they
later
play
game. They can sleep in, and half their team's Hispanic because they go to the West Coast.
This
and
is all Miami.
They're used to that. Yeah, I can't take 10 points when that offense. I can't not take it when San Francisco's offense has looked the way it's looked. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're just giving points. They're not scoring points. They're giving the defense points. They just held the Patriots to what, 20, 23, 29, whatever it was? Yeah.
23.
So you're saying the San Francisco and a Miami team that plays worse at home.
Yeah,
they hit the road.
Yeah, but with Miami, I still don't believe it. I still think that team was trying to be that borderline 0-16 team that we wanted them to be. And they still got a few more stinkers in them, and this would be a good time to show up and lay an egg. Out of conference,
San Francisco.
Pierre Garçon.
no pride.
Pierre Garçon, score. Score.
Pierre Garçon, you owe me points, man.
I'm hurt. No.
No, he's fine. Oh, I'm running when I get up now. That's how, oh, look at me.
I hate making the playoffs under 500, but I'll take it.
Take it.
Oh, boy, you're so
I'm going San Francisco.
I benched Forte this week like a moron. But
I got Miami.
Man, Pierre Garçon is not slow.
Another double-digit line. Arizona heads to Seattle. 10.5.
Ouch.
I don't need to tell you who's favored.
Right. Ooh.
The revenge game in a way.
Revenge game, yeah. Those Seattle fans, they bring it.
10.5. Can the Cardinals score?
Do we know if
Can they score at all?
Do we know if these guys are suspended or not?
I don't think in this game. I'm certain it doesn't matter.
But it helps.
It does, but
because if they aren't
so they
suspended,
get 7 instead.
I'm calling
well, Fitz. Right. Well, if not, then Fitz can maybe get something.
like 3 catches.
Right. 20 yards.
Net result, Seahawks. That's a disrespectful line that needs to be disrespectful. That would be 9 losses in a row for the Cardinals since
that would be
wow.
After starting 4-0.
7-6 though they showed up at home against the Jets.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, is this the week, where it's like, we're crowning Seattle, like, they're 7-5.
But they're home though. That's when they hit the road though.
Yeah.
At home they're just focused. I don't know why. Their head coach is a cheerleader. I don't think he coaches at all.
I think that.
Who are their coordinators? I must know these men's names and applaud them.
No, they're better off with him not coaching.
He doesn't.
Yeah,
No. He's running on the field. Ooh, he's such a douchebag. God. I want to love this team and I can't because of this fucking prick.
Seahawks.
Yeah,
The
it's
power.
a given. No,
I believe in the power.
2 out of 3 so far.
Yeah, make it a sweep.
Yeah, it is. The jersey should be on order for Christmas.
The Russell Wilson jersey?
Yes.
Nice.
Feel the power.
It should be. I don't know. I haven't done it yet, but it should.
What
I thought it already be. I thought he would wear it today after yesterday's one. But he's got this dynamo orange on.
I can't wear nothing right now. I gotta try to hide. I'm trying to get Martellus Bennett get me to the promised land over here.
Saints head to the new Giants stadium.
Say that number.
6. They still love us in Vegas. I don't know. Those dumb bastards.
6 points?
Yeah. If they can get 9 sacks.
I wouldn't say that's loving you that much.
Yeah, they don't love you.
On the road? That means the Giants are only 3 points better than us?
Yeah.
Fuck us. 9. The Giants should get 9 sacks, which means they could get 5 picks too. I mean, if the Falcons could do what they did to us, I'm done with us. I think the Giants have put my house on it. Bunch of punk bitches. Just our quarterback. I'm done with that $40 million punk.
The Giants secondary, man.
That's fine. I know. And I'm trying to reverse jinx it, but...
Yeah, you going.
What does this win matter to us? What does it matter to us? We're done. We're doing it.
Alive?
No, there's no alive anymore.
This is it. I mean...
There's no alive.
Ooh.
Seattle's not going to lose to Arizona.
I'm so healthy you can throw me screen passes.
Well, at least you got it's a PPR.
No, you lose this one, you get mathematically dead. So, instead of just...
I don't want hope anymore. I'm done with hope. Hope is gone.
Losing this one would end the hope. Yes.
No, it's dead to me. Tampa's going to win this week. The Dallas might win. I mean, Washington gets to 6-6 right now. It's over. And I want it that way. I don't want hope that's going to... The realization will not be, going to somewhere that we can't win? It's dead.
I'll go with you guys.
Yeah. I'm not saying we won't win, but...
I'm not talking about making the playoffs. I'm talking about winning this game. Yeah.
Yesterday was when we needed to win. Mm-hmm. Because we could afford to lose one more, and two of them were winnable.
Ooh.
Did he just drop it?
No. Giants.
Tipped it.
The Giants, but their secondary scares me. If Drew's going to get back on, this would be a team to do it with.
Yeah,
even with the pressure.
You can get on his paws.
Because these interceptions haven't, for the most part, been pressure interceptions.
No, exactly. That's why I'm worried. Because they're going to get after him. And he's going to make dumb decisions and be human. Like, people don't understand he is. Like, all of these quarterbacks are. And except for really Rodgers, because he can elude everything because he's 10 years younger than all these other people.
Yeah.
And he's got an arm that's not even human. And this is me complimenting him, and I can't stand him. Speaking of him, Detroit goes to his house.
Whoa!
Down 6.5 point underdogs.
Oh, they're going to play lights out.
I believe that too.
They're going to play lights out because they know it's over.
Why do they keep playing? What are they playing for?
And the defensive line,
but they keep playing. I agree.
They're going to step on somebody's head. It's going down.
For some reason, this Lions team keeps playing. Do they love that their coach is dumber than them? Is that something to play for?
Man, how do you test that? I don't know.
This is Sunday night?
This is the Sunday
night.
Sunday night game? Yeah, because Monday. We know that one. I'll go Green Bay.
Like you said, and like I wrote,
I haven't believed in the Lions all
Detroit, but they don't lose by more than 4 or 5 or 3. They just lose.
I'm taking Detroit. They're gonna lose.
Yeah, they're gonna lose, but they're gonna make it interesting. I don't know what they're playing for. I think it's like I said, their coach is dumber than them, and that
is a likelihood.
They love that. And the big one for this city and for Stefan, I guess I really give a shit. And Art, the closet Texans fan, and he should be. He's from here.
I like the Texans too.
Yeah, I don't hear about it.
I'm not rooting for him in this game.
Again, this conversation's over.
Really? Because I was still talking.
Texans head to Foxborough.
Say the number.
4.
4-point line.
And I you know where I'm going. And I'll tell you why.
I like to see that in a little one team getting 4 points.
Offense isn't dynamic enough to take advantage of the deficiencies of the Patriots' defense. I got New England.
How dynamic do you have?
You can't run on New England, and that's what they're going to try to do. And, hey, I wanted to say this last week, and you know what? Andre Johnson has shown me...
He looks healthy.
He's shown me a lot this season. He's catching tip balls. He's still dropping his occasional ball. So he's not horrible.
How magnanimous of you.
He's a good player. Is he great? No. This Hall of Fame chatter, I would squash that with my left testicle. That's got to go. He's not Hall of Fame worthy. Let's kill that. I'm sorry. That's just bullshit. But he's playing very well right now, and will he make the Pro Bowl? Fine, because I don't even know, does he have the stats? But that's what matters.
69 catches, 1058, 3 touchdowns this year. So probably won't make.
Why does he still not get touchdowns?
I don't know.
What the hell? And one of them was garbage in that overtime against Jacksonville, where nobody decided to tackle anybody. So, honestly, did you see that play again?
Oh, yeah.
There were watch it again. The Jacksonville corners were like...
They were tired.
Was that touch football? They just wanted to go home.
Yeah. They're like, we're 1-8. Let's go.
Yeah. It was epic.
It's a hard. That's a tough situation because it's gonna be an interesting fucking game to see though.
No, I think it's gonna be a.
Yeah, but it's gonna be interesting to see how and why.
No, I don't know. That defense can play with them for a little while, but they have some injuries.
Because the Patriots don't do the ISO 1-on-1 thing that works so well on the Texans.
And why is Brandon Lloyd garbage? I don't think it's a Randy Moss, or, a Chad Johnson or a Brandon Lloyd issue. It's a Tom Brady issue. That's what I wanted to bring up.
You think Tom just isn't making the fucking throws? Cause
he just doesn't. He doesn't. Well, he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
That's why he worries about that interception. He wins games. I'm not saying they're not winning because of it.
Yeah.
But these guys aren't. Brandon Lloyd is not. He's not getting targets either.
He's there to run the routes that are deeper and therefore lower percentage. And so
he just isn't throwing.
I think Brady's just like, I may as well dump it off short to Welker, who now has 80 catches on the year, 961.
That's insane.
Well, I'm saying, but when Welker has like 12, Lloyd has like
Lloyd's got 49 catches.
Right.
Only 551.
Any other team, he'd have 90. That's like putting Brandon Marshall on your team and not using him.
I'm shocked.
And it's working. I get that.
No, they're doing well on the
but
offense,
that's a shame.
It is.
And maybe it's just a case of fantasy football running us crazy because you look at tangible
But we
stats.
hung Chad Johnson out to dry.
That's right.
For the same shit.
Chad Johnson did not have 49 catches.
But he didn't get the
on
playing time either. Yeah.
Maybe,
which wouldn't have mattered, is my point.
And maybe with New England, it's all about creating the matchups to get the yards that they want to get, to eat the amount of clock that they want to eat.
That's fine, but I figured when Gronk went down, Lloyd's production would pick up a little bit.
That's what I thought too. But
Hernandez went up.
But they both were down for 1 week.
Hernandez is finally...
Right, no, but he was limping the first week. I figured Lloyd would get some. I benched the son of a bitch. I'm done with him. Because it's worthless. But I picked him in the 5th round because why wouldn't a great receiver with a great quarterback turn into production? And it hasn't.
Yeah, I've been surprised to see Lloyd not have like a few big games in there. It's been
he's had one. That was like week 3.
He's been kind of like a metronome, like 5 catches a week.
But not even related.
49 in 12 games. So 4 catches a week.
Right.
Average.
It's been that. I looked at it. I've kept him in every week.
I'm surprised not to see more big games in there because what Belichick does do is it seems like, especially with the running game, you got one guy gets 120 yards 1 week, and then Woodhead
not anymore.
Gets a bunch.
It's Ridley's world now.
Well, yeah, he's
because he's a Tiger.
No,
it's Louisiana. Boy.
Oh yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Nah. Louisiana. Man, that's one of the best backs I've seen come out of LSU in a long time.
I love Ridley.
No, you should.
Yeah.
He was a monster at LSU, and it's hard to stand out at running back. Yeah, but that's not what it's getting to. But I just want that to be known that maybe Chad Johnson wasn't
that horrible.
Right. Yeah, because the idea was that this offense is so brilliant and you got to make the right decision and the right cut at the precise right time, or if you don't do that, then Tom won't throw you the ball because fuck you didn't run the right magical option route. But you're not telling me Lloyd didn't understand McDaniel's offense.
Exactly, because he learned that this is the second time over.
Yeah.
So
he's a bright. Is that Bennett again?
That is Bennett again.
And he's a bright guy. He's a bright young man. So that's just something I wanted to just make.
I'm not going to pretend to understand. I'll say one more thing about that. I understand the dynamic, but the way the Patriots seem to work is most teams, it's like the quarterback's got to keep the receivers happy. Got to keep feeding them. Patriots, it's the other way around.
No,
the receivers got to keep Brady happy by running the routes that he wants.
But the beauty of Lloyd and Johnson, they don't say a word.
Yeah,
you win.
No, they've played the role. They're
part of a winning team. That's all they care about.
Yeah.
But Johnson didn't get credit for that, and Lloyd just isn't getting discriminated for it.
It's tough.
So.
I'm taking the Patriots because I'm just assuming that they'll come up with something. And if they do, it's going to work. And it's going to work early and often. And that'll be enough for them to turn this into a potential athlete.
Can you throw your bias aside?
No, I can't. Clean sweep.
Okay. Good. Finally.
Because New England has made a habit out of beating down the latest big thing. At least in the regular
it's
season.
It's a mediocre thing.
Yeah, 11-1.
I just wanted to get exactly, yeah. I don't care. They can kiss my ass.
At least in the regular season, they've been taking down some pretty good teams.
Yeah, and that's fine. Again, when they do it in the playoffs, we'll them in Atlanta. These are the two, and it's not just, it's the national media that feels the same way, and rightfully so.
Well, it seems like people are kind of going ahead and giving it up to the Texans a little bit because they do the stuff that purists like to see. They bat down a pass, they throw somebody on the ground, they do this boring, we're going to keep running the ball over and over and over and over and over, up 10 yards, up, over and over, up 15 yards, over and over and over.
Man.
Oh, you got a running back that gets a touchdown every week in today's NFL where if you run it 3 times and don't get anything, you just start.
No, it's fine, but the linemen are starting to fall, and big old Will Fork's in the middle of that, so we'll see. I'm interested. I'm interested to see against a legitimate football team on a big stage. More importantly,
large,
and they're 1-1.
Right, and the elements helped them in that first one a little bit. Not that the Bears don't thrive in that, but
they both won 6 in a row now.
I'm not so sure the Bears do because
not anymore with their quarterback. Yeah,
because I think what happens is teams have an identity, and then those identities change, and people still hang on to them. And it's like some of these teams got West Coast guys on these teams, and they're not ready for the
Texans are a run north-south or whatever the zone blocking bullshit, and roll out, make a throw when we have to. That's an offense not dynamic enough to hang with this Patriots offense, and that's why I think it's I don't know. I don't want. It might get ugly. I'll take that 4 and run with it, and they'll try to run and they won't be able to.
Give the 4.
And I'm just not sure that the defense will be able to get after Tom Brady, but we've seen in the past that is a nice little recipe for dealing with.
Miami hit him a few times this weekend.
Yeah, with the Patriots, most teams don't have the personnel to get to them without giving up their whole damn secondary.
Right.
Except for the Giants.
So Kevin had a couple questions. Right, questions for the podcast. One is the top 3 dumbest rules in the NFL.
The one that bit Schwartz.
That's definitely
number 1.
That's definitely number 1.
That they skipped the challenge.
Well, first of all, and still penalize you 15 yards.
Right, or they skipped the review that they would have done
and penalize you 15 yards.
Yes.
So it should be a 5-yard penalty, it should be a delay of game penalty, and still reviewed.
I think 15 yards is fair. I mean, because it could, impact the.
But no, it's a delay of game. That's all it is. It's a delay of game penalty, but no, we're not going to look at it at all out of spite.
That's retarded.
Yeah, we don't care about getting the play right now. So
right, and I guess it'd be hard to come up with 2 other calls on the fly.
Let me throw one out. Pass interference being a spot foul.
You don't think?
I don't like that too much. I see too many, like little shoulder brushes that turn into 45.
That's fine, but then you'd have to agree what is it just that? Well, then that's why they do holding just 5 and automatic first, right?
Yeah.
So
that's their way of trying to have two degrees of separation on
pass. And they have the leniency. They have the decision to make it either the interference or holding. Like if it's a brush, maybe they just say holding. Maybe it's 5 yards.
Consider college. It's 15 yards automatic first down. If it's beyond 15.
I think they've elevated that to spot, haven't they?
In college?
Y'all don't watch college football. You and I have.
I don't watch it a lot.
No, you and I have. I think it's.
But I thought it was 15.
I think it's spot.
The last game I saw.
Because I was pissed off.
Spot if the play is less than 15 yards.
See, well, there you go. So maybe.
No, if it's more than 15 yards,
it's just 15. 15 is the max.
Because I've seen Bob. I don't know. Maybe it was that. I just feel like us against Arkansas, I felt like they got some calls where we moved the ball well inside the 10.
Well, yeah, but that's you.
No, but at the from the 50,
they'll do a spot foul they would do half the distance shit. You know? Like if it's at the 10 and you foul them at the 2, pass interference, they'll put it at the 2.
No, I understand that, but it was spot of the. It felt like it was spot of the. I don't know, college. I'm not sure, but we're talking about NFL, I guess. And also,
I'm just saying for comparison,
well, also
the college rule better.
Well, then the one, no, that's fine, but I'm not sure that it's different. But either way, some of that is if it's that means leveling it, which means the refs have to think more. Because if the guy seriously rips a guy out of the way because, okay, I don't want him to catch this 80-yard bomb, but he's going to, and you just give him 15 yards, and they're all going to do it. That's why we've gotten to this point.
It's a fair point.
Right. So that's kind of why they've done that. And I thought that's why they did it. They do it in college now. And I've attended enough to think that's why it's spot foul. I'm pretty certain. You can Google that.
Yeah, we need to
yes, please.
We need to look that up for a correction.
But
oops, not Google Plus.
But also these we this is also a college reference. I'm sure it applies in the pros. But there was an incident against Ole Miss where we intercepted the ball, right? Mm-hmm. And then on the return, we hit the quarterback, whatever, in the head, something. So it was a illegal hit. The head. On the return, they reviewed the play. The interceptor's knee was down. No return. Mm-hmm. But they still penalized us 15 yards, then called it a dead ball foul.
Right.
That's a dumb call. If there's no return, there's no hit to the head, and it was a lame hit to the head.
But you still hit him in the head. Yeah.
But if you saw the Georgia-Alabama game where they laid Murray out and didn't call shit, the FCC championship Saturday, they didn't call shit. But if there's no return, there's no penalty. So why should that's another dumb rule? You should rule back to. So we got the 3. If there's no, if there's no return,
you threw it out. Yeah.
It happened on the return, so there shouldn't be no return, no hit to the head, no illegal block. No, for a less extreme case, no block in the back. No, why should that still be put on the interception?
Yeah, okay. That can be our third one.
Right. Did you understand?
Yes. Sorry, I was just looking up on Google. In U.S. college football and amateur Canadian football, the penalty is to the spot of the foul up to a maximum of 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
I feel like I've seen more than that, but just loved it in Canadian. What year is that dated?
This is Wikipedia, so it's.
So it's accurate. All right.
Well.
No, I know.
I don't know how current it is. Last modified 18th of September 2012.
Okay. And his other one was top 3 coaches this year. And obviously it's Indy's interim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
we don't give Kubiak credit. We don't give Mike Smith credit.
No.
I'm not going to give Fox credit because he's got Manning.
Other overachieving
standing.
I mean, is it time to just give Belichick a lifetime achievement
No.
award? Like,
why not?
Why? Because
they've lost close games. They don't perform in close games.
I mean,
which scares me.
Tomlin ain't coaching. Marvin Lewis is actually doing good. I mean,
he is.
I mean, isn't he?
Wasn't he my preseason pick for coach?
Like whatever he's come up with. He's like, I'm too fat to dunk. I'm not even going to try to dunk it. I know I'm a tight end. I'm supposed to dunk it, but I'm going to just jump in the crowd and hope they hand me a sandwich.
Marvin freaking Lewis. Yeah, he might be in the top 3. Well, not skill-wise, but,
Well, it was Harbaugh before he made a dumb move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Shiano and Tampa, they're starting to kind of...
No, that's a strong one.
Because he kind of got them at least with the right look on their face. Because that was like a... inmates running the asylum type organization last year, and then they got the right look on their face. They played a little bit over their talent level.
No,
and they got
a little bit. No, Shiano's probably leading the pack. Other than
they got a lot of people feeling good about the pieces that they have on their team.
It's Shiano, the fella in Indy, and I guess Marvin Lewis. So I don't know what.
Marvin Lewis. Philbin for not being over. I mean, where we left?
He's fourth.
He's fourth. We don't like Pete Carroll. I mean, what are we saying?
He has no influence. He better not. Cause I don't
he started the power, man.
I'm not the only one who doesn't like the pass interference rule.
Well, but you start getting into it, and you start making these refs think more than they need to, and the less they think, the better we are.
That is factual.
And honestly, I think there should be some kind of rule where you can challenge. It's going to get to this because they're already challenging plays, right? But an amount. You get 1.5 or something,
or that counts as one of your challenges.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
You can challenge a player or a
Exactly.
penalty.
Yeah, and that needs to happen.
Yeah,
Because some of these are
I like that idea.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, and they change games a lot of times. If you're going to go through with the replay, then let's do it in the right way. You're not going to. The game's 4 hours instead of 3.5 hours. You're not going to scare us off as fans. It's not going to happen.
No.
Sorry. So and especially with the safety bullshit. That not that this completely coincides with that, but I don't know. This is a league that weekly is hypocritical of itself. I mean, it's ridiculous, but whatever. We love it, and that's why we're here. So on to the next segment. Thank you, Kevin, for those. I think we answered top 3, so we say
Yeah.
What, coaches?
yeah. So we
Arians.
got Shiano, Arians, and all right.
At least it's gonna keep.
Speaking of Arians, Andrew Luck threw
Big blonde asshole Germans.
Andrew Luck threw a touchdown pass with no time left in the game this past Sunday.
Word.
That's illegal.
Since won a game with
Yeah, I got you.
Since 1970, how many other rookies have done this?
Oh shit, we're into the trivia? Already?
Yes,
Oh man.
but there's nothing else.
Oh, okay.
But there is something.
He threw a touchdown with no time remaining.
Right. Scored with no time remaining. No, just not to win a game, just threw one with no.
Oh, with no time remaining.
How many other quarterbacks have done it?
Rookie quarterbacks.
Right.
Um,
How many other rookie quarterbacks have done it?
how about 0?
No. 3.
3.
And all since 1999.
Oh.
Tim Couch in 99.
Huh.
Stafford in 2009.
I'm guessing Couches wasn't.
And Russell Wilson this year
Oh,
against
yes.
Green Bay.
Oh, of course, Green Bay.
2012.
The power. I forgot about him.
We need to take that out of the record books. That doesn't count.
I agree. It took Andrew Luck. It would help me right now. It would help the Saints right now. It took Andrew Luck 12 starts to get to win 8. How many did it take Peyton Manning?
Oh man. I bet it took about 34.
No.
Too many?
That's 2 seasons.
Yeah.
They didn't suck the next year.
Oh, they didn't?
Oh.
Okay.
They were
A season and a half there.
24.
23.
All right.
Andrew Luck won 8 games as a starter as the first overall pick in the draft. How many other quarterbacks have done that?
8 games that started first. Well, I'm guessing Tim Couch did it.
Won 8 games in his first season.
Oh, won 8 games.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant it went. Okay, gotcha. Won 8 games as a starter, as the number 1 pick in the draft.
First overall pick. Yeah.
That's he's got to be the first one.
He is.
Yeah,
He
there
is.
we go.
Because he usually end up on a shitty team.
Right. The Raiders
Actually,
guy.
who always
The Raiders guy won 7.
Oh,
Somebody else. Plunkett.
yeah.
Yeah. And then somebody else won 7 too. I don't remember him. How many Saints quarterbacks, other than Drew Brees, has thrown 5 interceptions and no touchdowns in a game?
Ooh, let's see. 0-5. 0.
None. Fuck that guy. Andy Dalton became the 3rd quarterback to throw more than 20 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons. Who are the others? First 2 seasons. He already got 20.
First 2 seasons.
20 touchdowns.
In each. Let's see. Romo.
No. He didn't start his first 2 seasons.
Ah, crap. Let's see here.
Can't look it up.
Matt Ryan.
No.
No?
He's a dumpster fire.
I thought he at least had 20 touchdowns.
No.
Let's see here.
It's-
First 2 seasons. Phillip Rivers.
No.
Another dumpster fire.
Currently.
Carson Palmer.
No. Think of
20.
greats.
20
Great.
touchdowns.
Oh, Marino.
1.
Kelly.
No.
Montana.
1 was mentioned in a prior question. He threw a lot of picks, but he also threw touchdowns.
Plunkett.
No. Seriously?
Yeah. Shit. I got nothing.
Manning.
Oh.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton.
Oh man.
On to state-of-the-art fantasy segments.
Yes.
I'm a genius.
Playoffs start this week.
I'm a fantasy football genius.
Wow, 7 in a row. Let's not.
I'm not a genius.
Any new approach going to the playoffs? So you just roll with what got you here. Like, do you look at matchups? What do you
look? Yeah. Well, let me get crazy and say you should have done this, but when you were drafting,
pick up Martellus better?
No, you should have been. Yeah. No, you should have been doing that when you drafted your team.
Right.
And there's two things that people don't care about when they draft that they should, and that's one of them. Playoff schedule.
14, 15, and 16.
Yeah, playoff schedule. And just trying to get that. You don't win a league every time because your first 2 or 3 guys do well. Because, look, half of the guys in the first round are going to underperform. Probably the same amount in the second round.
Or get hurt. Yeah,
and then when you get to the third round, it's even more of a crapshoot. And further down you get, the more of a crapshoot it is. So the people who know the least start picking jackass people in the 7th and 8th round, and they're too busy picking your backups to get those Reggie Waynes and those guys that are out there.
Dropped them.
And, like, getting those dudes,
love that
man.
guy. He fucked me this week, but whatever.
Like, getting
2 catches.
Yeah, getting those dudes is where you at. And that's how you win. Those are the 2 things. So, man, if you did that, then you already smiling because you know you got such and such playing Kansas City, or you got such and such playing against insert team that's bad. Now, sometimes you do have to update your information because some defenses underperform, some defenses overperform. And you got
defense is hard to predict. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes you think, oh, I'm gonna have such and such playing Tampa, ha ha.
Right.
And then Tampa's now Tampa has this amazing run defense. It's like, oh shit.
Right.
So you need to update all your information. Don't get cute. If you researched hard and you drafted a guy in the first 2 or 3 rounds, I kind of think you need to go ahead and stick that dude out there.
Like I did with Stafford on Thanksgiving.
Unless he has the worst matchup on earth.
Which the Texans were not.
Yes. So
I went first round. Like, that's my rule.
That's not.
If you felt the need to draft him in the first round,
that's probably a reason. Yeah. And that's why I rolled with Forte this weekend.
Yeah, no. It was third round for me, so I let him go. And then
I was scared.
I was burned, but he came through.
He caught a few passes and got that little touchdown.
Especially against Seattle.
That's the key. If you got a bad defense, and you got moves, use a move, get a defense, man.
Yeah,
Cleveland defense, by the way.
You think 2 weeks in, did they get turnovers? I know they the Steelers, but 8 turnovers doesn't happen every week.
They're playing Kansas City.
I know, but it's a motivated Kansas City.
That was.
So speaking of that, is anyone left out there? You think like a sleeper?
Like a real.
Like a deep sleeper.
Why?
Like Bryce Brown doesn't.
Like a narcoleptic.
No, but in Avery.
Well, see, you can't trust him to stay healthy, and that's why I like Y.A. Tittle even more.
Well, even the Yizzle guy, Hizzle.
Brazil.
Well,
but Brazil,
he had a touchdown too.
Brazil is more like a one-catch touchdown
He was,
guy.
but yeah.
So if you're in a 14-team league, then maybe that's what you're thinking about.
And Fleener found the end zone finally. That punk mother.
And that's like his first touchdown as a pro.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So there's people.
We're only talking about Colts, by the way. Apparently.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot out there. I mean, you need
shouldn't be,
but you need to look for weird people.
David Wilson, maybe. He's in the backfield.
That's a sneaky guy, yeah. But the problem with the Giants, you don't know if they're ever going to be up enough to be getting funny with their running backs. Yeah. Now, David Wilson is a 40-yard touchdown or bust type of guy.
Right.
And he might get 1 or 2 of those somewhere. Right. But man, there's Bryce Brown's out for some insane reason. Right. If you're in a inactive league where everybody is off not watching football on Sundays, and maybe he's out there, and if you got I don't if there's still trade deadlines, I don't know, because the Eagles are putting everybody out to pasture, and all they're gonna do is just show up and run every week, and so whoever that running back is, look. What more endorsement can I give you? I'm lined up right now. If I do finish this and make the playoffs, I'm going to play somebody that has Bryce Brown on their team.
Against
so
Tampa,
certainly.
Yeah. But no, that's great news for me.
152
yards.
That's
great. No, that's great.
But yeah, Y.A. Tittle is out there. I would have said Ryan Broyles, but he blew out his knee.
What?
He blew out his knee. He blew out the other knee.
Oh shit!
That's so sad.
I don't know what I'm talking about. That's just. I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
So the Lions,
honestly, that dude is wow.
And but that's just the Lions, man.
So does Hilton,
so now the Lions are gonna have to take.
Does the
take Titus
Boise
Young
State
Jr. out of
jail? Yeah.
But look, Mike Thomas
dropped
a touchdown, but you can't be rolling with that either. Like I'm looking at.
So that means Pettigrew's his targets have elevated.
Yeah,
and he scored.
And maybe if somebody's ticked off,
I got him in both leagues. So on that big mother.
I mean, there's weird people that don't get picked up, like Andy Dalton, for instance. Right. Like he's out there, and if you're starting Phillip Rivers or something silly with a straight face, cut it out.
Especially in an interception league.
Like cut it out and pick up Andy Dalton and go on with your life.
So Greg Jennings,
Joique Bell, the
Jacquee or whatever,
Jacquee.
But he's another.
He's like 8 carries a game.
Him on the shore, right?
Yeah, but that's one of those just keep your eye out type things.
Well, we're getting down to the end. It's not a. It's a let's roll with this bastard because he's gonna. He's a sleeper.
Or even weird shit like Bernard Pierce getting a bunch of carries for Baltimore. For Baltimore, I mean, I picked him up in the league where I have. Well, Ray Rice got 12, so you get what I'm saying.
No, I know. Well, I know, but the playoffs is not the time.
It's not a time to start him, but if you have picks remaining, you need to get your insurance situation together. Because you don't want to be 5th on the waiver priority list. Ray Rice falls on the ground, and somebody else picks up Bernard Pierce. You need to pick up Bernard Pierce now while you can.
Well, that's fair.
Like that type of stuff. You need because that's what you're down to. You're not gonna get
if you're desperate, certainly.
That's what I'm saying. What are you gonna do? You gonna pick up running? Not even so much to start, but just for the fact of having your team covered from an insurance standpoint.
Right. So Greg Jennings, is it time? I don't know. I don't even know
time what
reinserted into the lineup. He didn't do much.
No,
I don't. But
they're playing Detroit this week, so yeah, if you're gonna start them a week, this would be the week. It's Sunday night.
Because he doesn't control his. I mean, he obviously wants to be out there.
Jordan's out.
Nelson's not playing.
Oh well, Bonnie, come on, man.
Jordan's out. Like they said, Jordan is a stretch to play.
There you go.
They're going to be hard pressed to take the field.
A bad hammy in the cold weather is a bad look, man. I don't see.
I know what's Jacksonville's schedule going forward because Blackman had a one catch 9-yard game. Going forward,
he had 6 targets though, but he dropped the pass every game.
All right, so we need to keep the faith on, especially if Cecil Shorts is he back in the
right. Well, it's Monday, so we won't know anything till Wednesday.
Well, and it benefits him
when they start taking those tests.
It benefits him that Cecil's out there.
Yeah,
obviously
Cecil is awesome, and he just got
he drops a lot of balls too. We watched that Thursday night game.
Yeah, they do. They all drop balls, but Cecil Shorts.
But Gavin's not exactly putting it there. But Henny's back, Henny.
Gabbard can't come back to that team. I'd be shocked if he does. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Oh,
so that's where I'm at on that. I don't like Blackman much, but I like Cecil Shorts. I'm in a limited roster move league, and I use my last move to pick him up. So, and I'm starting him with a straight face.
All right. Any other thoughts? Good luck in the playoffs.
Good luck. Don't get cute. Start your studs if you know your studs are real. If you just looked at a list and picked a guy, then no, you might want to look at some schedules and think about it. But if you picked a dude based on research and based on playoff schedules, well, here you are. It's week 14.
That's why you're in the playoffs.
That's why you're in the playoffs.
Roll with him.
Now, you got this dude playing at whatever team. You know the Falcons don't really stop shit. You know the Giants got a bad secondary. Do something.
And on to the... That's how we all should go forward with it, and as we stand, Giants 13, Redskins 10.
Martellus Bennett.
It's been the Martellus Bennett show, to be honest, and good for you. The final segment, Sheik tweets. It seems like the Sheiks want to give out the Heisman Trophy for reasons other than prowess on the college football field.
Yeah, he's got a lot of Heisman's going out.
Yeah.
Does that have something to do with Old Country Way?
Dirty Mexican cock breath. I don't know, but I'll go to Stefan for
those.
Who got his new phone, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm sold on it though. I don't really like it that much because it keeps crashing on Words with Friends.
What is this?
Already?
That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
What is this?
This is a Nokia.
Oh, you lost me in
something or
Nokia.
other. Yeah.
You didn't like it last one?
It's the
My last one, I had the Samsung 2 thing or S2, and it was okay.
Whatever.
I was willing to try something else. Yeah, they didn't have any iPhones, so I'm like, oh, fuck this. But let's see.
Get another.
Heisman's that the Sheik's giving out here. Let's see here.
He's giving out the Heisman to a lot of people. Lindsay Lohan. And
It actually just started like 4 hours ago. They started going on a Heisman rant.
Yeah.
I deserve the Heisman Trophy more than the O.J. Simpson.
Okay. Yeah.
But who's won it?
But then the O.J. Simpson deserved Heisman Trophy for biggest murderer in world.
RG3.
So he's he's not understanding what the Heisman Trophy is awarded for.
Yes. The Hulk Hogan deserved the Heisman Trophy for smallest dick in the world.
All right.
We could have made this trivia.
Is that a trophy?
What do you think they're going to win the Heisman for?
Yeah.
The Chris Brown deserved the Heisman Trophy for
murder.
deserving to choke on dog shit the most. The Rihanna deserved the Heisman Trophy for being biggest dumb bitch.
I'd still tap that.
But later, he gave Lindsay Lohan deserved the Heisman Trophy for being dumbest dumb bitch in the world.
Dumbest dumb.
So we've got biggest dumb bitch and
dumbest dumb.
Yes.
And then I think
Jose Canseco deserved the Heisman Trophy for having the worst taco gorilla dog shit breathe.
Breath, yeah, but
I think he meant breath. Yeah. He likes Horatio Sands. Gave him a Heisman Trophy.
What's that about?
I don't know. He may have quoted on one of.
Who's the Horatio Sands again?
He's on Saturday Night Live.
I'm a fan. Well, he was, yes. What the hell's he doing now?
I don't know.
He was also in the road trip, and he stuck the pancakes down his pants.
Right.
Yes, he's the man. All right.
And I also like this final one. The Kate Middleton deserved the Heisman Trophy for wanting to have the most sex with the Sheiky baby, but I say no to her.
That's false.
He respects the fact that she's married.
Yeah, he's lying like a son of a bitch.
To the next king of England. But,
yes, he's lying through his Iranian teeth.
So respectful.
Yes.
Of that union.
Right. So after that, is there anything else? We go into week.
I got to give one fantasy football props to this guy in my corporate league, Aaron. Scored 215 this week.
Yikes.
Because he had Calvin Johnson, Adrian Peterson.
His lineup was Calvin Johnson, Adrian Peterson, Tony Romo, Wes Welker, Brandon Myers, Michael LaSure.
Did Myers do anything?
31.5 points. So this isn't a PPR with a flex.
He scored a garbage touchdown.
Kevin just dropped.
Denario Alexander, Matt Bryant had 3 field goals, and Denver D, which actually gave up a late touchdown, so could have done a little better. But
wow,
yeah,
Kevin,
he won by 135.
Dude, Kevin, I told you in writing, but it was a long thing, and I don't know if you read it or not. So I'm telling you verbally, pick up Brandon Myers again. Quit playing around. I told you to pick him up because he was awesome.
Scored 31.
I don't have him on any of my teams.
He dropped him.
Yeah.
I can't curse him from here.
But
pick him up.
Right, and it was funny.
Why is he on
dropped him for but he picked up Greg Jennings and
Pierre Garçon.
Right. But anyway,
which I don't hate.
So it's to finalize it, and I'll play it out. But is Brandon Marshall in the PPR league now a first round pick?
He's gonna be the second or third receiver.
10 catches every game in the least. This guy is,
and it's not like they're gonna all of a sudden have a bunch of other weapons now.
And that's what he did in Denver. The guy is.
And you know when Cutler gets tunnel vision, he got the arm to get it there. So it doesn't matter whether he cares. It doesn't matter. He could be covered. But Brandon Marshall is a monster, and we've known that.
Well, you saw his last catch before overtime to create overtime.
Yeah, it was
he jumped around 3 people, and you were at the game, so you didn't see it.
Just imagine if they had sod at Soldier Field that stayed in place. You know,
in my work league, he's the number 1 receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he's
just in front of AJ Green and Calvin and Demaryius Thomas and Dez Bryant, who I should have traded for a couple weeks ago, but I didn't do it. I was scared.
Yeah, but you don't want to deal with that week to week. Now my computer sucks.
Last month he's been balling. Randall Cobb's in the top 10.
Because he just scores touchdowns.
That dude, he had 7 touchdowns. 8 touchdowns.
The NFL is